what brings us here today?
A whole lot of wow in Otter Creek.
Yeah, so we just watched Travis's latest video from like an hour ago, and we couldn't believe our ears. We couldn't believe our eyes. We just couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm in total shock.
Yeah,
I don't know what has happened with Zim. And I said before that I really find it hard to believe that he's doing what he's doing, and now I can't believe it even more. He's getting worse and worse. So when we joked around saying Zimtown, I guess we weren't really far off.
No, because what floored me in the whole thing, the back and forth with Travis, and if you didn't see it and you don't know what we're talking about, we're not going to rehash that. You can go back and watch it. It just happened an hour ago, so it's dated today. It's his last video, as of the making of this video, which will go out tomorrow. So I couldn't believe he said this is a one man town. What?
So,
when did Otter Creek become a one man town? When did that happen?
I don't know, because you can't have a board with one person. So is he saying that Laura and Rex don't exist?
Yeah, and Richard, and he's got a clerk now. She doesn't exist either.
No. I have to tell you, though, after watching that video, if I was that clerk who's a temporary clerk, I would hightail it out of there immediately, because you are going to be put in some spots that aren't good. You could tell just by what he was doing and saying in that instance that you're going to be...
You could end up even being liable.
Thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
I mean, well, right now, what Zim is doing is a huge liability to the town.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Russell was a liability to the town and got the town in lawsuits. Well, looks like Zim's going to end up getting the town in some lawsuits, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because Russell, what he was doing, Zim is doing the exact same thing. The only difference is Zim has about 2 more brain cells than Russell did. That's the only difference, and he has a little more money. Well, a lot more money, actually, but it's all tied up. So, but the thing is, Zim knows enough to pull the wool over your eyes. Like when Travis said that his inspector told him that he would talk to Zim, that's number one. That's not how it's supposed to work. You'll talk to the board as a collective, thing. You'll take it to the clerk. The clerk is supposed to be issuing the permits, not Zim. And Zim didn't agree with that. He said it's a one-man town.
Yeah, right. Even on the website, it'll tell you that the clerk is the one who handles the applications and everything for that.
Yeah.
And why isn't he handing out that statute, that code, the ordinance that he's referring to? He should have that already ready, sitting on the desk to hand to Travis to explain everything. If you're going to post that, then you better be ready and have the information ready for the person that you're telling to cease and desist.
Right, and when your inspector, who's speaking for Zim, pretty much is Zim, and says that it's a town ordinance, and then you're asked for the town ordinance and you can't produce it because you don't have it. And you don't have it because you didn't never make any ordinance of such.
So it's just a go back and forth. I'll ask the mayor, then the mayor says, you got to talk to this person, but doesn't even supply you the phone number. That's shady as all get out. You should be handing over all those things. You should be guiding the people, not sending them in 50 different directions, chasing squirrels,
right,
and then getting agitated when the people are asking you questions. And then as a public official to tell somebody to shut their camera off, that doesn't fly.
If he was doing the right things, he would want the camera on.
Right.
He would be like, oh yeah, your permit, here you go. Here's the ordinance so you can read it over. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll answer them for you. That's how you provide guided growth. But what he's doing is he doesn't want Tube Town right next to his park like that. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it anywhere, really. So what he's doing is he's just trying to throw obstacles in your face. He's just trying to, okay, well, if this won't make him go away, maybe this will go away. Maybe all these high fees will make him go away. You know what? I'm not going to suggest, but I tell you what, if I had the means, I'd sue him. He's absolutely wrong. You've got video evidence of his posture and his answers and everything. You've got it. And he is wrong on every account and every answer that he gave back to Travis. He's absolutely wrong. I really can't believe Zim is stooping to this level. I thought he was above that.
I thought he was so much better,
Right.
but what he's doing now, I'm totally shocked.
They always say, don't go by what your friends say, you go by what they do. And right now, what he's doing is not good.
And then shouldn't Mr. Payne be going around the town hanging up different notices if he's the code enforcement and he's also like doing the permitting, the zoning, he's in charge of all those things, because there was also some talk about Lynette's fence. She has put above the 6 feet, and if your fence is over 6 feet, don't you need a permit?
That's what I had heard.
That's what I had heard as well.
I'd like to see that ordinance too.
But she has metal going over on one side and these other black sheets going high on the other side. Is that permitted? Is that acceptable?
So she has a wooden fence that's, I don't know what, 5 feet high, 5.5 feet high. We'll call it 6 feet high. And then you staple some tin to it, and now it's another 3 feet high. Illegal, according to the ordinances. Now, I'd like to see the ordinance.
If they're just gonna go around and pick on one person, you can't do that.
Yeah, he really showed his hand tonight.
You have to treat everybody the same, and you have to follow the rules. Yeah. You can't just make up rules as you go for certain people.
That's exactly what he's doing.
I can't believe, I'm still just in shock that he said it's a one-man town and that he won't be on camera, and then just to say, I'm over it, I'm done talking to you, and that's that.
You can't
It
do
reminded
that.
me of Russell shutting a meeting down when somebody's asking questions.
There was another channel that just threw up a meeting, like probably your first meeting, and there was a question directed at Russell, and Russell didn't like the answer. Jeremy was asking Russell a question, and Russell right away, he's like, well, that was Mary's personal stuff, when asked what the stuff he was taking out of the town. And then right away he goes, I moved to adjourn this meeting. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. And here you're going to get the same thing.
I am begging the people in Otter Creek, put in your letters of interest and get on that board.
You got to.
If this man is saying it's a one-man town, y'all are in big trouble.
You're in trouble.
Big trouble. So y'all need to do something. I would be getting it on the ballot to unincorporate. That's what I would be doing 100%.
100%.
But walking away from the board and just ignoring what's going on.
Throwing up your hands and walking away.
Is bad. You need to get on the board and you need to put him in check.
You ignoring them is exactly what he wants you to do. It's exactly what he expects you to do.
Because obviously he wants a one-man town.
Yeah, he wants a one-man town. Zim town.
And again, if I was that clerk sitting there, I'd be washing my hands of that mess, because there's going to be lawsuits, there's going to be more cameras, there's going to be a big hot mess.
Right when you think you know somebody, and I was kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt with a little bit of the dialogue that was going on with Travis previously, although there were some things I was highly speculative of, but he really showed his cards tonight, exactly everything that he intends to do. And he's in the position where he thinks he can get away with it. And he will get away with it. If the townspeople don't stand up for their town and walk away, you're doing exactly what he expects you to do. You're doing exactly what he wants you to do. I mean, you're going to get exactly what you deserve if you don't stand up against this tyrant. That's the word I would tag him with, because now he's made himself the one-man town. I thought there were like 113 people in the town.
That's what I thought. And here's where I'm confused also, is on the property appraiser's site, it says this property is residential.
Yeah.
And Zim is arguing that it's not residential?
He's saying back 7 years ago that it was changed to commercial. And I know there's been some dialogue on that little piece of property. And I mean little, I say pie-shaped piece of property. It's tiny. So it doesn't matter what the town has it listed at anymore. It doesn't matter. It's what the county appraiser's office has it listed at. That's the database of record. So if you want it changed, it comes before the board. the board votes on it, it gets put in the minutes, and then the minutes, you can take a copy down to the appraisers and you can have it changed. But that's not what he has here. He's trying to say, and he's saying that because he can throw more obstacles in front of Travis as a commercial property. There's a lot more higher standards and more regulations involved. But as a residential property, there's not a whole lot he can do. So that's why he's saying that. But he's wrong. He's absolutely wrong. All you would have to do is get you a lawyer, and that would be part of your lawsuit. Public records would be another part of your lawsuit. You'll win the lawsuit just based on public records. I want to see these ordinances. He can't produce them. He's in violation, and he'll have to pay for all your attorney fees, just like he did with Jeremy. Not he did, but the town did. The town had to settle with Jeremy because they couldn't produce ordinances. Now they have more ordinances, way more now than they did before. But the ones that Zim is trying to impose, those are not written yet. He's putting the cart way before the horse. He has not written those ordinances. He has not gotten them before the board and gotten them vote and gotten them stamped and signed and dated. That makes it an official ordinance. He doesn't have any of that. None of that. So I don't know what he's trying to pull here. He's just trying to pull the wool over Travis's eyes so he'll go away. And it's Travis's call what he wants to do. You know, you gotta pick your battles. You know, what's worth fighting, what's not worth fighting. But I'm really disappointed with Zim's behavior. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm still at a like a wow. I can't believe, like, all I do is I think back of all the things that we helped each other do. I helped him on his campground, and I've helped him with things, and he's helped me a whole lot because he has heavy equipment. So he's moved heavy things for me with his equipment, and he's always been helpful. Seriously, I never saw this coming.
I can't believe it. And everybody keeps saying that as soon as he became mayor, that the title went to his head and he changed who he was. Obviously, we're not there to see all that, but everybody's seeing it now unfold.
Yeah, you don't have to take our word for it. Look yourself.
I can't believe what's happening. And if you look back, and you can go on the town's website and find the links to look through the ordinances yourself, because they have most all of that loaded up now. Believe me, it's not loaded in any rhyme or reason fashion. It's just thrown up there pretty messy.
Yeah, it's out of order.
But you can go on there and read through this stuff, and the last things I read on there having to do with any permits, there's some from, I want to say 95 or 96, and then there's some from somewhere around 2005 to 2006. A lot of the stuff with the ordinances, although it's like the main one is 316 pages, a lot of stuff was put in and taken out, and a lot of it is about the flood zone and all that, so it is long.
But it's a quick read. You can read through that stuff. Yeah.
And most of it is so old and out of date that it's not really that relevant.
Right.
But when they canceled the interlocal agreement, that means that you would need a comprehensive plan, the land use, and you would need to rewrite your permit fees and all those things that were originally in the ordinance. Where are they? They didn't get rewrote and voted on. So what are they using? They're just taking a book off the shelf from the old days and using that. I have no idea. But those are the things, as the mayor and the new clerk should be handing over these things to explain everything. Now, I know they have all new forms also online having to do with the permits, and they're not very
specific,
and they don't explain things very well.
No, but if you did want to go to a town and look at their ordinances and how it's in regard to permits and how it's outlined in detail, you can use Chiefland. Now they're a much bigger town, but I think the layout of their ordinances is much more structured than other towns like Bronson.
They're very specific.
They're
in Chiefland.
They're well written out. They They have a good board, they have a good clerk, they have a good mayor, and they have a good lawyer. And we know all of them, not personally, but we've met them, we know who they are. We've been to several of their meetings, we've talked to them.
Well, you can look all their stuff
You
up
can,
online.
and you can find it.
Bronson also has all their stuff online.
They
have
do.
it all codified
Correct.
and nicely laid out online. It's very simple to look through their stuff, but they're good examples of how things should read and how detailed they should be.
Yeah.
Now, I'm surprised that no one has, or maybe they have and I don't know, because I'm not there, I don't know everything, obviously, but someone should be talking to the lawyer, Megan.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody's going to be reaching out to her.
Putting her on notice about what's being said, and she should be putting the mayor on notice about how to handle this.
Yeah.
And I don't believe saying this is a one-man show is the correct way to handle this at all.
No, you know who's a one-man show? Tube Town, baby. That's a one-man show, mayor of one.
So
I'm just kidding.
I think it's terrible. I think it's a shame. I was hoping that Zim would come to his senses and see that this is not the right way to do things, but he's just getting further into the hole.
Yeah.
And I think it's sad.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this from him at all.
No, if I was still there, I'd be really in
I wanted nothing but good for the town.
Yeah. If we were still there, I'd be really caught between a rock and a hard place.
Well, if we were still there, he wouldn't be mayor.
Well, he wouldn't be mayor. He absolutely would not have been mayor.
And I don't know personally who would vote for him again in the next election to be on the board at all.
No, right.
Like, I wouldn't.
Nope. And he's another one that's been on the board before and walked off because he didn't get his way. You know, he gets upset and he walks off, and he stayed off the board 3 months. And I think his term terminated at that point. But yeah, he's walked off the board, and Russell's walked off the board, and Don's walked off the board. I mean,
I really wish Carl would have stayed there.
Yeah. If he hasn't turned in a formal written letter of resignation, he's still on the board, and maybe he can just go for a walk and collect his thoughts, and maybe he can get back on the board.
Well, according to the interview by the mayor that was put in that paper.
Yeah, the Hardison Inc. It's a local.
A resignation
paper.
letter was put in, but again, that's according to the mayor's interview.
Yeah, we don't know if that's true or not. So.
But it's sad, and I just hope that some good people put in letters of interest and get involved and take your town back and honestly put it on the ballot for the next election to unincorporate so all these things won't happen again.
Yeah, it's really a shame what's going on there. It's been going on for years, and I thought you had set that town up for success, and everything was going in the right direction, and now, I don't know, it's going to be hard to recover from this unless the town stands up for itself. And if you don't, then shame on you. I'll say it. Because, you know, we did all we could and did everything beyond what most people are willing to do to try to get that town going in the right direction. We had no personal agenda. We still don't have a personal agenda. There are people out there saying that why you guys left Otter Creek and moved to Tennessee. Why y'all even talking about Otter Creek? You know what?
You know what I think is funny though? Those same people have never stepped foot in Otter Creek, so why are they talking about it?
And they can't stop talking about it, so it doesn't make sense. We have every right to talk about a place that we lived for 6 years. We know every character that is in play. We know everybody that's on the board and has been on the board. We know most of the neighbors in that. We probably know like 90% of everybody in that town. Now, we don't see them and talk to them on a regular basis, but I think we're qualified to speak to that town. Now, don't ask me to speak to Chiefland or to speak to Bronson or any others. I'll just give you what I know about them. But I think we can speak to Otter Creek, and I think we're...
well, I've never seen a law that says you can't talk about a place that you've never lived in. I guess a whole lot of people wouldn't be talking about a whole lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them talking about it. I don't understand what the big interest is when you're doing everything right. But yeah, the circus has come to town again, I guess, and so everybody wants to pay attention to what's going on or not going on in Otter Creek. And I get it.
He's just making things worse. He wanted everything to die out and there be no drama and nobody cover anything.
That's what he said.
And nobody filming anything anymore. But he just started it all over again.
His actions are asking for it to happen. He's begging people to come record it.
So now there needs to be serious accountability.
Accountability is what it's about.
Because when you've just said what you've said, you just showed your cards that you're out for yourself and you just want Zimtown, I guess.
You know, if the town attorney Megan looks into this and she doesn't like what she sees from the inside looking at it, I bet she'll walk. She has every right to break contract and leave. She doesn't need to be wrapped up in that. There are a lot of attorneys that have represented Otter Creek before and won't represent them again because of the way they do business. I would not be a bit surprised if she sees what we're seeing on the outside looking in, she'll be on the inside looking in.
It was hard to find an attorney for the town in the first place.
Right.
I mean, there were several months that there was no attorney.
Right.
And some of the people that were putting in to be the attorney didn't even live near there and wanted to zoom in. And it's pretty expensive to have an attorney.
It is, especially for a small town that can barely keep its water system up.
But I know no attorney wants to be all up in this drama.
No, they got enough real cases without the drama to make money with. This is, who wants to get into a lawsuit?
So unfortunately, he's putting several different people in bad positions.
Yeah.
Because the attorney's going to be in a bad position, the town's in a bad position,
Yeah.
the new clerk is not in a good position either for what she's going to have to handle.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, super sad to see what's happening. And so I wonder what Travis is going to do. Is he going to end up having to sue them? I don't know.
We don't know what his plan is, but whatever it is, we're behind him, you know, so.
I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong, and he's rightly confused because Zim has sent him running in circles on purpose.
On purpose, yes.
And wants him to be confused.
Yeah.
He didn't clearly lay anything out for him.
And that's what they're supposed to have. There should be a permit packet. Part of that packet should be, here's step 1, step 2, step 3. He can't even produce that.
And that packet shouldn't come from the mayor.
No.
It should come from the clerk. As it states on their website.
On their own website. So I guess they need to change that.
Well, they're going to have to change a lot of things on that website.
Yeah.
Apparently they don't have a 5-person council, they just have a 1-man show.
And you know, in Travis's video, Zim also mentioned that he's slamming busy right now. Doing what? Doing what?
Probably scrambling to run his 1-man town.
Yeah, he's created some work for himself for sure.
Well, it's not returning phone calls and emails because I still haven't received any reply back from my stuff.
I know they got the trim budget coming up, and that's an undertaking, but that hasn't started yet. So I don't know what's got him so busy right now that he can't entertain a few questions from the public. He has to entertain those questions. That's your job. So if you're a civil servant and someone asks you for an ordinance that your inspector stated that it was a city ordinance, it's your job to provide it. If it's not your job, it's the clerk's job, who works for you. You must provide that ordinance there, Mr. Zim. So if you can't provide that ordinance or you're giving him the runaround, you're derelict of duty. I think you should be renounce yourself.
I was surprised to see that they stated some Florida code on that cease and desist anyway.
Yeah, it was a Florida, actually it was a, wasn't
it's
it
a Florida Building Code 105,
Florida,
Section 42.
There you go, thank you.
But
Yeah. It's a building code, it has to do with latrines or bathrooms or something, but what he's trying to do has nothing to do with that. So I really think Zim is just throwing out a bunch of garbage and hoping that Travis will bite.
I mean, it's too bad he doesn't put his efforts into the real problems of the town.
I'll tell you what, I must commend Travis with his patience, That window, that service window didn't always used to be there. But if I was at that service window and he was acting like that to me in my campground, or he was trying to stop something that was legit and he was running me around, it would have taken all the strength I have, plus God's help, for me not to come around inside that office and confront him. And
That's why I don't let you handle things.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But
I thought it was super courteous of
Yeah.
Travis to not have been filming where he had every right to film,
he could have
looking into that
Yep.
office, but,
He's a public servant.
and you're in a public
You're
building.
in a public federal,
So
public city
I thought
building.
it was courteous of Travis to have recorded the conversation the way he did.
Absolutely.
And I think it's sad the way it ended, and that Zim basically shut the window, said, "I'm done with you," and pulled a Russell. That's what I call
Wow.
it, pulling a Russell.
Wow, I'm still, I can't believe it. I can't believe what I heard and what I saw. I mean, there were parts I had to go back. Is that what he said? Is he serious?
I was just, my mouth was on the floor because
Oh.
I'm like, is that really Zim? Did Zim really just say that?
Now
Like,
see,
what's going on?
and Zim is smarter than that. So it's purposeful what he's doing. And I never saw that in Zim. He knows what he's doing. It's different if you don't know better, you make a mistake and you come back and fix it, which he could still do, but I don't see that happening here. He knows better because he's a contractor and he's in the permit business. So he knows about permits. Russell didn't. He didn't know. He took all his guidance from other people who didn't really deal with permits either in the town. He was trying to mirror other towns, and it was a mess. But Zim knows better, and he's doing it anyway. That's the part that really gets my goat, because he's being malicious. He's purposely trying to stop something from happening that really doesn't hurt the town and can only help the town. It could even help his business, but he doesn't see it that way. So I don't know what else to say here, but we had to get on here and say something.
I mean, I always said too, Russell or Zim, for such a little town that has so many problems, to be able to fix up that town and make it nice,
We had hopes that would happen.
you would be leaving a nice legacy. Wouldn't you rather do good and great things and be known for that? I don't get it.
Yeah, he could have really defined his character and built a legacy, and the town would have loved him. I mean, you set it up for him. He could have just took that cart and ran with it. Sure, Travis, we'd like to help you with your permit. And go from there. Here's what you got to do. Have your packet ready. The thing is, they're not ready. They don't have ordinances in place. They don't. They should have had it by now. The interlocal agreement's been done. It's almost a year has passed. They still don't have any ordinances written. If you're going to adopt ordinances from another city, that's fine, but you have to get them in your books. You have to get them voted on. It has to pass, and then the mayor has to sign it and date it, and the clerk has to sign and date it, and then it gets filed, and now you can try to enforce it. So you need enforcement ordinances as well. They don't have any of that.
Which I would also recommend that those packets that are online that do have all the information with the permitting and the applications they have for that, I would recommend that somebody go over those and proofread them again.
Yeah.
Because there's still words in there that pertain to other towns and counties.
You can copy paste, but
And
you have to read it.
I know things were done hastily because there was a time factor, and I don't even know how to explain that.
You can't put out something that's not ready.
There needs to be ordinances that go with the application. Like, the whole process was just thrown into place very hastily, and I know people didn't have time or help doing different things, which is sad that the person now who's one man showing it wasn't more helpful when they didn't have enough office help, and the product they have now is not a good and finished product.
That's saying it nicely.
I'm trying to say things nicely.
I'll let you talk it then.
I'm trying to say them nicely, but there's so many towns surrounding that have things all in order, and they're very helpful people in these towns.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that the board didn't reach out to try to get this accomplished before they start doing the work that this entails.
Well, the thing is, that takes effort, and it takes initiative, and it takes time.
The interlocal agreement was canceled quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And honestly, all these things should have been put in place
before
it was canceled.
Correct.
When Russell found out about it,
mm-hmm.
and he didn't put the things into play that should have been.
And so then why did Zim decide to cancel the interlocal agreement 2 weeks early before it was set to end anyway? He's not even near ready.
That I couldn't tell you.
I don't understand what that move was for.
I certainly would not have done it. I mean, It didn't change. It was only 2 weeks.
It didn't change anything.
It was senseless.
It was senseless, and he spent time doing that. Like, that makes no sense. It was ending anyway. I don't get it. He should have been working on ordinances and getting them written and getting them to the lawyer and getting them voted on and getting them
I was super surprised because I thought that that's the way the meetings were going to go. Now that there was this board working together, everything was going good. People were all wanting the same things. I thought stuff was going to go bam, bam, bam. Ordinances. I mean, if I had a board like that, it would have darn sure worked out that way. I was working against a board who didn't want to get anything done, and I was still trying to slam things out and get stuff moving and going in the right direction. They had a board that was great and we're doing nothing and having little 5 to 15 minute meetings and we're not doing anything. And I'm like,
done.
What just happened? How did they have such a fast meeting and they got nothing accomplished?
They should have. I would have been having workshops every month at the 2 week interval, and then have some ordinances written with the group and get them to the lawyer to refine them if they need T's crossed or I's dotted, and then present those ordinances at the next meeting.
Now you see why Sim wanted to do 4-year terms, right?
Well, yeah, it's blatantly obvious now. 4-year term, so now he can be, where he is longer.
I would never vote for Russell. I would never vote for Zim.
Nope.
I wouldn't vote for Stewart.
Nope. Stewart is just,
But
I'll refrain.
If I saw people in positions that were derelict in their duties or doing the things that are being done, and you just see the actions and you see what's happening, why would you vote for them again?
Yeah.
That town is in a bad mess unless some good people step up.
And here's my personal take. I think most of the people in the town are not going to care about these permit fights because they're not trying to build anything. That's sad. That's not the reason that you should be trying to do the right thing. You're supposed to do the right thing when nobody's watching.
Well, they should care about somebody calling it a one-man town.
Right, and they should care about that. And you do the right thing even if you don't need it.
You should care about somebody who's afraid to be on camera.
Yeah, he's got stuff to hide. But you may not personally be building anything, but are you going to be leaving your property to your kids or to your nieces or nephews? Maybe they want to do something. And now you didn't do anything to help them. So they're going to be having to fight this fight. Or they just won't, they just won't do anything. So, eventually the whole town's just going to die if you're not allowed to do anything. Or if trying to do something is going to be blocked all the time. So, no growth, it's going to die.
Well, he wants growth.
Well, he'll get...
As long as he's the one benefiting from it.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I don't know what else to say, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm shocked.
We don't want to
It's sad.
we didn't want to do a video like this, but we can't just let it go unsaid. So Travis got a lot of information there, and we're trying to digest what it said and what he said, and it's like, oh my goodness. She in particular has all the knowledge of the inner workings of how that office should be running. And so that's why we get on here and talk about it when it's not going that way.
I mean, I'm surprised anybody would want to invest anything
Yeah.
into that town if that's how you're received.
I don't even know why Zim would want to invest anything in that town. I mean, to be honest.
Well, I'm not going there.
I mean, but if the town stands up and does the right thing and gets the right people in there, then I could see it. I mean, there was a chance for this town to be the white picket little town, white picket fence town that, you know, that everybody has in their mind.
There is a white picket fence at Mr. Caldwell's house.
Oh, there is actually. Yeah. But I don't know what else to say. I don't want to just keep repeating myself, but I'm just so shocked by what he said in that video and his character, and I don't know what he's so busy doing, training a clerk to do everything that he wants. Well, he's placing that clerk in a liability. He's placing himself in a liability, and
No, he's placing the town.
he's placing the town.
Because it's the town's money.
Correct. As a liability.
When they get a lawsuit filed against them,
Yeah.
it's the town's money that you're
Yeah.
playing with there.
Maybe he's
It's
trying
like
to unincorporate
When
the
Russell
town.
got the town in a lawsuit,
Yeah.
then the town has to pay the attorney
Yeah.
to fight it, and when the town is in the wrong, then they have to settle it, because if it goes to court, they're gonna have to pay even more money.
That's how you could actually
So-
bankrupt the town. Instead of settling, you could actually take them to court.
Well, bankrupting the town is not a great plan. What does that
Well,
do?
it's not, but if he's gonna be in charge of it, that might be a move I would do. What else can you do?
That doesn't unincorporate a town.
No.
You know, you can't unincorporate a bankrupt town.
You can't. I know, but,
I mean,
well, then the state might come in and they might, but I wouldn't, yeah, they've had plenty of opportunity to do that and should have done that and didn't. So,
Otter Creek will make the news again.
and again and again and again.
I mean, look, they just made that publication where they wrote the story about it. It's not a great story about a bunch of your board members walking off,
Right.
and your clerk and your bookkeeper, and you know, that's not a great story
Well,
to
it's a
be
good
writing.
story, but he didn't ask any hard questions.
Well, it's not a good story.
It's not a good story. I mean, it's a bad story, but it needed to ask the questions. Why did this happen? He asked when it happened.
Well, he might have asked those questions.
asked
You weren't
who.
there.
That's true, but it
He
did.
might have got shut down. The blinds might have went down. The window probably got closed.
That's true, but he could have put a blurb in there and say, "Hey, the question was asked. Why did this happen?" And there was no reply. And he could have left it open-ended like that. That would have looked better. But I'm not a reporter, so
Well, some reporters don't like to do that because
yeah.
then in the future the other people won't talk to them.
Yeah, and they're scared and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, I don't know, if you stand up for what's right and it doesn't work out, at least you stood up for what was right. And you know who sees it? God sees it. And if you're doing wrong things, you're either going to pay for it now or you're going to pay for it later, or both. And
It's not always easy
Yeah.
to do the right thing, but you
it's
should.
not. Yeah,
You absolutely should.
yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, that's, I guess, all I have to say.
I guess the next meeting's going to be pretty interesting.
I bet he shuts Travis down. He doesn't let him come
Well,
in
he
there.
didn't seem, there was question too about getting on the agenda because of
Right.
the whole thing where they don't want you talking in the comments.
Yeah, you can't
But-
public speak unless you're on the agenda, and then he had problems putting him on the agenda.
I'm going to have to get on the agenda to speak here.
Yes.
So,
Go ahead.
so he was asking him about that, but it didn't sound like that was going anywhere. So when Travis tries to talk at the next meeting, is he going to adjourn the meeting and shut everything down and pull a Russell there?
Yeah, he'll do a motion to adjourn the meeting. Somebody's got to second it. Maybe Rex or Laura sit there and go, no, I want to hear this. Go ahead.
I mean, they should be wanting to hear it. The whole town should be wanting to hear
Yeah.
what's going on and the inner workings.
Yep. And right now, Zim's trying to keep a lid on it.
You know, that
So
when the people are doing wrong, they love that nobody attends the meetings.
yeah,
They love if nobody live streams the meetings.
they can do whatever they want. And
That's
nobody
right.
questions it.
No worries. They love it. So
Yeah. I hope the whole planet shows up to video the meeting. I hope there's a line out the door. We won't be there, but we'll talk about it because we have every right to talk about it.
well, they really only need one or two people to live stream it.
They
So
do, yeah, one or two. Yeah. They've got
but
that.
I certainly think that they do need accountability now more than ever.
I wonder what Zim would say if by proxy Jeremy went in there and wanted a power pole permit. By proxy. You think he'd run in through the ringer? He's supposed to, right? He's supposed to be fair across the board. That's just a hypothetical question anyway. I'm not expecting an
Well, he's
answer.
not being fair across the board because he's letting certain people do whatever they
Whatever.
want.
Yeah, he ignores
So-
all the garbage around the town. That's okay. But a power pole, yeah.
Yeah, because if Mr. Payne is supposed to be the code enforcement person,
Mm-hmm. Well, my first question is
he
what?
should be super busy.
Yeah, what codes is he enforcing? First off, because I haven't seen any, so that's a valid point. If he's enforcing codes, what codes is he enforcing? That's the biggest question, and that's the legal question you should be asking, Travis. That's the legal question, and you did ask that question.
He did, but he didn't get any answer.
Of course not, because there isn't
Who
one.
do I call to ask?
Whoa.
Isn't that the same thing that Russell and Mr. Warm did?
Yeah.
When you would call him to ask him something and they'd send you back and forth and nobody would give you answers. Then you'd go to the town and you'd ask in the public comments and meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
And that's the way they would just get away with everything. Send those letters telling you to cease and desist, all in caps, bold writing. Ooh, I'm scared.
But see, Russell didn't know what else to try to throw in front of me, and I was smarter than Russell like 10 times. So Zim's a little bit smarter than Russell, but he's not smart about the way he's doing this. He's not, and he knows better. That's the thing. He knows better because he's seen what happens when you do that, and he's doing the same thing. It's not going to bode well for him. But somebody's got to hold him accountable. Maybe he's banking on the fact that nobody's going to press him. But I guess that remains to be seen. But, oh my goodness. Oh man. I can't believe it's circled all the way back to this. In 2 weeks, so much has changed.
Well, I guess it's been longer than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just been in the making and
Yeah,
you don't see all the different things.
right. Yeah. Well, that's our 2 cents.
Again, I'm thankful for all the people who did not want to do things the wrong way
Yeah.
and they didn't stand by and let those things
We
happen.
commend Jason, Belinda, Barbara, and Carl.
Well, I wouldn't have walked off the board.
I wouldn't have either.
I would have quit my job as the clerk and the bookkeeper,
Yes,
but I would not have left the board.
right. Because as a collective board, you 4 people have more power than Zim.
So, but I do congratulate everybody for standing up and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's sad to get so frustrated that you do walk off the board and you know, once you do that, I guess there's not really
Yeah.
much you can do.
Was it in the video I heard Zim say he fired them, or was it in the article I read? He said they were fired. They quit. He didn't fire
It
them.
must have been in the video then. I don't know. Because in the article it said they put in letters of
Yeah, so
resignation.
they quit. Zim didn't fire them. you can't technically fire anybody. The board has to fire them.
Didn't you say he said something about he fired them because they weren't doing the permitting right, or?
I thought I had heard or read that somewhere, but yeah, but by any means, they weren't fired, they quit. They quit before they could be fired. I don't think Zim would have fired all those people at once. I mean, he left himself in a pickle.
The mayor can't fire the board members.
They can't. No, board members walk on their own. They can't be fired. Even the bookkeeper.
The most you can do is suspend them, and then the board collectively votes on it at the next meeting.
Correct. So he can't fire anybody. If
Even the clerk.
Right. If they
It has to be the board.
Correct. I've been saying that.
Because it's not a one-man show.
It's not. No, he thinks it is.
Well, as long as people let him get away with it.
Yeah, then he's right. But I tell you, that's no place I'd want to live, where one man tries to make up all the rules and they're all slanted in his favor. Not going to happen. Well, is that a wrap?
Yeah. We'll just stay tuned for what's to come.
Yeah.
And especially for that next meeting.
It's it's mind-blowing.
I believe that is August 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
Third Tuesday, whatever date that is. So yeah, we'll be watching from Tennessee, and we have every right to comment on it.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
And, I can't wait to read some of the reactions about the situation. And, let us know what you would do if you were Travis.
Yeah, and if you think Zim was in the right, I'd like to hear those comments, because I'd like to hear how you can substantiate such a comment. Back it up with proof.
So, drop us some comments. Share with us how you feel. We welcome you to talk about the situation as we are talking about it, and let's see what everybody thinks and says, and hopefully, I always want to hope for peace in the future and good stuff, but it's a little rocky right now, so say your prayers.
Whew. Rocky top prayers.
All right, well, ready to sign off?
I'm ready.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.